Good afternoon, everyone. I and my colleague Maulik would like to welcome you all for Q4 FY18 Results and Business Outlook Conference Call of MEP Infrastructure Developers Limited. From the management, we have Mr. Jayant Maheskar, Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Murjat Maheskar, Deputy MD, Mr. Shankar Narayan, Group CFO, Mr. Rajesh Sindhav, Deputy CFO, and Manisha Bihani, IR. Without wasting much time, I would like to hand the floor to the management for their initial opening remarks, and then we can have a Q&A. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. I, on behalf of the company, would like to have a warm welcome to all the participants on behalf of MEP Infrastructure Developers Limited. We thank you for participating in our earnings conference call for the final quarter of financial year FY18. The company closed the quarter with a revenue from operations on a consolidated basis at 776.24 crores with a PAT of 26.7 crores. On an annual basis, the revenue stood at 2,322.2 crores with a PAT at 70.96 crores. We are glad to state that we have had a rewarding first quarter of the calendar year FY18 with the addition of the new 4 hybrid annuity projects to our existing portfolio, taking our total EPC portfolio strength to 10 projects to be executed over the next 3 years. We currently have 6 hybrid annuity projects under different stages of execution, while we are on the preliminary stages of signing of concession agreements and further attaining financial closure for the 4 newly backed projects. On the tolling side, we continue to operate 3 hybrid OMT projects, 3 long-term projects, 1 short-term tolling, and 1 BOT project. Further, a new development that I would like to highlight is that we have been declared a successful bidder for setting up a hybrid ETC and toll management system on the Eastern Peripheral Expressway by IHMCL for a period of 24 months post completion of construction of the project. We have commenced toll collection at 124 entry points to Delhi in the second half of FY18, and I am happy to share that we see good commercial traffic traction on the same as envisaged. Additionally, we were re-awarded the Rajiv Gandhi Sea Link for the second time on the OMT basis for a period of 3 years, and we have commenced tolling operations on the same in the Q3 of FY17. I shall also highlight that there yet remains a strong pipeline of hybrid annuity projects expected to be bidded out over the next few months, in addition to the phenomenal bidding already done in the last quarter, as the authority is likely to call for bids in excess of 1,500 kilometers of project length, and the company would continue to evaluate a fair chunk on the upcoming opportunities, which will allow to add a couple of more projects in our basket. The company has an outstanding order book of 7,166 crores for 10 hybrid annuity projects to be executed over the next couple of years after considering what has already been completed. The company continues to evaluate upcoming tolling and hybrid annuity projects. Company is poised to deliver substantial, sustainable, risk-mitigated, non-dilutive growth in the coming years and focused single-mindedly on delivering exceptional shareholder value through efficient and calibrated approach towards the business. Commenting on the overall industry, if I may say so, in 17-18, NHAI has completed construction of the length of 3,000 plus kilometers as against the average in the last 5 years of 2,170 kilometers. We believe that the authority has taken sufficient steps to ensure efficient execution in the form of speeding up of land acquisition and stronger monitoring by individuals that has led to a growth of 17% year-on-year in construction. Likewise, the Ministry of Road has constructed 6,800 kilometers, registering a growth of 21%. On the awarding front as well, the authority has awarded 150 projects spanning a length of 7,400 kilometers in FY18 under the hybrid annuity and EPC mode, which is the largest or highest over a decade. The ministry has awarded 9,600 kilometers in FY18, taking the total awards to 17,000 plus kilometers across the two ministry and the authority. For FY19, the Ministry of Road Transport and the National Highway has set a target of awarding works in excess of 20,000 kilometers of national highway, while its target to construct is close to around 16,400 plus kilometers. In terms of value, we understand that the value of the work would be in excess of 1,22,000 crores has been awarded, with 63% under HAM, 35% under EPC and 2% under the conventional toll model. The ministry is also likely to be raising close to 3 billion by monetizing 3 more bundles of 25 road projects comprising of cumulative build length of 1,640 kilometers in the current year, subsequent to the first TOT being awarded to the highest bidder in the first quarter of the current year. With this, I would now hand over the phone to Mr. Shankar Narayan to give specific insights on the company's financials for the quarter ended March FY18. Over to you, Shankar.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all. I will throw the insights on the consolidated financial position of the company as on FY18. We clocked a total revenue of 2,322 crores, which went up by 34% as against 1,729 crores last year. This was possible because of the commencement of Delhi entry point as well as the higher contribution from the EPC revenues, which is 595 crores for the financial year. The O&M expenses stood at 1,292 crores, which has to be read in conjugation with the amortization number, so which consists of a payment to concession fee for Delhi entry point, which is 603 crores, and an EPC expenses of 464 crores. Post adoption of Ind AS, the concession fee paid to the authority is amortized as an intangible asset, except for the Delhi entry point as discussed last time. So the depreciation and amortization number has got is around 15 crores and 403 crores for the current year, and 13 crores and 854 crores for the last year. The amortization number stood lower in this current financial year because we completed the Kini Tasode and other short-term toll collection contracts. Finance cost went down by around 4.8%. That is possible because of the repayment of MIPL and loans in Hyderabad, Bangalore and other loans. And also it includes the unwinding of trade payable. But this has been partially offset by the interest cost of RGSL. You are aware that we have made an upfront payment of 325 crores. So that has been partially offset out to the reduction. We had a better performance in this financial year. The PAT jumped up by 12 times to 70.96 crores as against 5.65 crores, excluding the exceptional item what we had last year. This is because of the construction segment, higher contribution from the construction segment. With this, I hand over for the question and answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone phone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. We take the first question from the line of Prem Khurana from Anand Rathi. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, sir. Thanks for taking my question. Sir, my question was with respect to Mumbai entry point. Would you be able to share, how much was the toll fee hike in this year and how has the traffic grown at this project? Because essentially, if I were to look at this project, if I were to adjust for toll fee hike that you would have received, it seems as if the numbers have been muted. Same would be the case with, I think, Rajiv Gandhi ceiling. How do you see the numbers moving for that company? Because, that project, because essentially we made an advance payment around 325 odd crore rupees and the run rate seems to be a little lower, to be able to justify investment in this project.
Hi, Prem.
Yeah.
Basically, for MIPL, compared to annual tolling revenues of approximately 424 crores,
yeah.
We have last year. We have closed this year with 475 CR.
Sure.
There has been a toll rate hike. However, this time around, the toll rate hike was only for commercial vehicles.
Yep.
It wasn't attributed to passenger vehicles, which is a very large chunk of our portfolio. So hopefully, you are considering that in the toll rate hike estimate that you are considering. And plus, it's a half-year impact, given that the toll rate hike is commencing only 1st of October. So in that scenario, we are continuing to experience a traffic growth on an average of around 4.5% to 5% in MIPL. Coming to Rajiv Gandhi Sea Link, yes, there has been some, we don't see the higher single-digit growth rates that we were seeing a year or two back, and that too has been around less than 5%.
Okay. But then you're sure that you would be able to recover the money that you've invested in this project, as in with the kind of return profile that you generally get to have with some of these projects.
Yes, I think we factored that. So when we did our bidding and numbers, we haven't been taking any heady growth numbers on the ceiling.
Sure. And so also, the 4 projects that have been able to get now in hybrid and ready side this year, would you be able to share, what's the land acquisition status on all these 4 projects?
Yeah. So I think 3 projects are contiguous and at a stretch, which is
yes, sir.
Chakur Loha and Loha Varanga. And the Thane Vadape stretch basically is moving from Mumbai going towards Nasik. Okay. So from a land acquisition perspective, we have approximate, one of the stretches currently is between around 70 to 75%.
Okay.
From the Nagpur, the Maharashtra stretches, also Chakur Loha Varanga, they are in excess of 80% right now. Okay. And basically for Thane Vadape, I believe the number is as high as around 95% already as of date. Given that we have approximately 3 to 4 more months, which the authority has to make available the land to us prior to the appointed date. We understand that the minimum required land will definitely be there, and for all the projects we should be moving more towards 90 plus, if not more, before we come to appointed.
Sure. And is it fair to assume, given the fact that with this healthy and order backlog now, you would go a little slow in new order accretion? The idea would be to kind of stabilize construction activity at these projects and then only look at new growth opportunities, because I think even in the projects that we've been able to get earlier, we are yet to kind of see full potential in terms of revenue recognition, because the 2 projects got delayed in terms of getting appointed date in place.
So you sort of answered your own question in a indirect kind of a way. Just because we have order backlogs or large order books, in the given scenario, in the manner in which the industry operates, there are uncontrollables because of which some of that order backlog could get shifted by a couple of months or quarters up or down.
Sure.
So in that regard, that's one thing. 2 is basically, yes, most definitely, we are very selective. We continue to screen and evaluate all interesting and good projects, but in whether to bid or not, and at what levels to bid or not, we are very selective. We have been in the past also, and going forward also we will be. Whether currently it may be slightly slower than 6 months back, yes. We have a very healthy order book, so we are not in any tearing hurry to go ahead and bring new projects. But having said that, I am not saying that we will not bid. We will definitely bid for projects which the company thinks it makes sense to go after, and we will be able to financially and technically execute them efficiently.
Sure. And just one last from my end, what's the status on the 2 Maharashtra project, and also if you could help me understand what kind of construction revenues are we targeting in FY19 now?
Sure. As far as the construction is concerned on the existing hybrid annuity projects, we have already achieved milestone 2 for the Nagpur in our 1 project, which is the package 1. We have announced it to the exchanges just today as we speak.
Sure.
So we have completed 40% physical completion on Nagpur 1 has been done. We are in the very advanced stage of getting the Nagpur 2 40% also in the next month or so.
Okay.
Which completes 40% on 2 projects in Maharashtra, which is the Outer Ring Road 1 and 2. As far as the Gujarat projects are concerned, we have already achieved milestone 1 for the Mahua Kagawazar, which is 20% completion in, I think, November last year. As far as Taja Mahua is concerned, we are expecting that to happen over the next 15 to 20 days. The 2 other Maharashtra projects is the Aravale Kate Katewakad, which predominantly had the appointed date shifted a little ahead of what we had expected, are also under construction, and we are expecting the milestone 1 on that as early as, I would say, Q2, beginning of Q2, I would say, as far as the milestone 1 is concerned for Aravale Kate Katewakad.
Sure. And on the construction revenue side, how much are we targeting this year?
Considering the current order book what we have and the new order book which has got added, assuming the financial closure is done in line with the concession agreement requirements, we should be able to ideally have the same run rate what we had last year in terms of close to around 14 to 1600 crores of EPC revenue is what we are expecting to have in the FY19 is the current target.
Around, conservatively speaking, around 1400 crores you can guess.
Sure. So when you say 1400, you're including some numbers from these 4 new projects as well?
Very slight, yes.
Okay. But then, how about financial closure? There's been this concern in the market that, given the fact that the government has given out so many projects at the same time, most of these projects would approach bankers at the same time, and therefore it'll be a little difficult for these guys to process all these applications, or they would be very, very choosy given the fact that they have limited resources to give it to the developers. So could there be a situation wherein, the financial closures take longer than expected, and therefore there could be a situation wherein, these get pushed forward to FY20? I am assuming because you would have already started speaking to these bankers, and therefore you would have some kind of sense by now.
The company does not see any challenge in doing the financial closure in line with the concession agreement requirement for the new 4 projects. And in light of that, we do not foresee any specific challenges as far as the execution or the appointed date is concerned. I would say only the point related would be the land availability, which is a condition precedent for the appointed date. So as long as we have the 80% land, we do not foresee any challenges in the financial closure. Of course, as you rightly said, industry, there are certain challenges certain companies are facing, but those are specific to the project or specific to the company related. At MEP, we do not foresee that.
Sure, sir. Thank you. That's it from my end.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Kapil Joshi from SMIFS. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. So I just wanted to understand the revenue recognition process for HAM projects.
Sure. I'll let our CFO explain you that revenue recognition process.
Yeah, in the revenue recognition for a company under construction, it comes under a percentage of completion basis. So basically, it takes care of whatever the expenditure incurred, which is eligible for construction or related to construction. Then you add the margin which is available for the particular project. Then you add it, and differential will be the total amount of revenue. So it goes under a percentage of construction.
So what? What are the margins? Percentage of margins?
Yeah. So basically, it ranges. We've been recording. We have already completed or booked revenues of around EPC revenues of around 595 crores in the current year, and we had 60 odd crores in the previous year. So we've been recording margins depending on projects ranging from 13.5% going up to 16 to 17%.
Okay. In our concession period, we also receive O&M payments from NHAI. So what are those payments?
Basically,
payments?
Actually, in hybrid annuity projects, you receive O&M annuity only post-COD, after you have completed the construction of the project. During the construction period, which is ranging from 2 years or 2.5 years, depending on different projects, there is no O&M grant or annuity that is received from NHAI.
Right. Okay. So this is a total like 60% of cost which we are incurring.
Yes. So this is cost that we are incurring towards completion of the project.
Okay. Got it, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We take the next question from the line of Rachit Kamath from Anand Rathi. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Hello. I just wanted to know the total equity required for all your old and new projects, and what will be MEP shares in these projects?
Basically, could you repeat the question, please?
Sure. So the total equity required for all your old and new projects, and MEP share in these projects. So on the HAM basis, you need to put some equity, right?
Yes.
So just wanted to know.
The 6 projects we have.
Yes, sir.
Projects we own 74% equity stake, and our JV partner owns 26%. On 2 out of the 6 projects, we own 60% equity stake, and JV partner owns 40%. And on the new projects that we have acquired, there is a 51-49% share, where 51 is MEP and 49% is our JV partner. So from an equity requirement perspective, in the first 6 projects, we required 575 crores in aggregate, out of which around 395 to 400 crores is equity that MEP has to put on those 6 projects, and 175 crores is what our JV partners had to infuse. Out of this requirement of around 400 crores, we have already infused close to 300 CR on those 6 projects. Our JV partner has pro rata infused their share also, and banks have contributed in pro rata also. With respect to the new projects, given that it's a 51-49 JV, the total equity requirement there is approximately 600 crores, out of which just under 300 crores is the equity requirement of MEP, and almost similar number will come in from our JV partners.
Okay. So I actually also wanted to know, given your order backlog, how are you going to finance it? Like in working capital, are you stable as such?
Sorry, are we what?
Stable as such, like working capital requirement. I just wanted to know how are your bank guarantees and limits and all.
Yeah, sure. So, as you're aware, the EPC contractor for our hybrid annuity projects is our holding company itself, which is the listed operating holding company that we have. We have taken equipment finance lines of credit, sale leaseback lines of credit, and certain working capital limits in the holdco for the EPC work. This is in addition to the mobilization advance that we get from NHAI by way of 10% advance, which is received during the commencement of the project. So we don't foresee any large mismatches, given that our projects are progressing fairly well, and there is periodic milestone payments also that are coming in towards contributing the requirements of funds. Our financial closures that we have done, we have carved out limits for LC and all those kind of arrangements also with our bankers right up front during financial closure. So we are able to have revolving kind of facilities for our acquisitions for materials and other aspects.
Okay, so basically you guys are covered.
We hope so. As of now, we don't foresee any challenge.
Sure. Yeah, so that's it from my side.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Reminder to the participants, if you wish to ask a question, you may press star and 1 at this time. Participants who would like to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone phone. The next question is a follow-up from the line of Kapil Joshi from SMIFS. Please go ahead. Kapil Joshi, yes.
Yeah. Sir, can you just provide the revenue breakup for tolling part? Hello?
I'm sorry, it was not clear. Could you repeat the question, please?
The revenue breakup for tolling.
Yeah, I think we've given the revenue breakup in the presentation that has been uploaded or circulated. In case you have that, or do you want me to give it out on the call right now?
No, it's fine, sir. I will get it from there.
Okay,
and
thank you.
Also, I wanted to ask, like, how much was the repayment of debt in FY18 and how much the company is going to repay in the next 2 years?
So, majority of the repayment comes from Mumbai Entry Point. So, we have repaid around 156 crores of Mumbai Entry Point debt in the current financial year, that is FY17-18. Going forward for the Mumbai Entry Point, it will be around 180, around approximately 200 crores it will go.
Sorry, Shankar, just to correct or add to that, there are certain projects where we have annual kind of like HRBC where we have around 40-50 crores of annual loan and certain other working capitals where we pay monthly upfront on some of our tolling projects. So if you add all of that, there's another 100-150 crores that has got paid during the year. Then it gets replenished by way of the debt taken for payment to authority for the next year. So there is a debt repayment of wind down and then it comes back out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nirav Shah from GC Investment. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Just one question from my end. Sir, on the Delhi entry points, can you just update us on how the progress is on correcting all the leakages on the tolling front, and how do we see the collections in the coming year? The correct one?
I think Delhi entry point is, as you're aware, slightly more tricky project to operate. It has 124 far-flung toll collection points bordering the entire state of Delhi. So it is a tough task to optimize and keep improving on the efficiency levels of tolling there. Having said that, in the last 6 months, the company has made extensive efforts and investments to sort of implement as optimal as possible tolling framework or system on all these 124 toll plazas, and we have seen fairly good results as the output of that. We have progressively seen improving month-on-month toll collections. Of course, that's a function of normative traffic rise and also improved tolling kind of operations. So if you look at the last 4 or 6 months average, we are, I think, at around 3.7, 365 to 37 crores per day.
So in Q4, what was the net toll collection from there, excluding the green tax on commercial vehicles?
Could you repeat that, please?
So what was the toll collection from Delhi entry point in fourth quarter?
This quarter for the half year.
Yeah, Delhi entry point for half year was 665 crores, 66 crores, and
full year.
Yeah.
So third quarter was around 630 crores.
No,
Half year.
660 crores is half year.
No, sorry, so 330 crores for third quarter, December quarter.
Yeah, do you have the numbers?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, you're right.
347 crores for the quarter 4.
Quarter 4 is 347 crores.
347. Got it.
Third quarter is 310, 325, 325 and fourth quarter is 347.
325 and 347.
660 claim of 10. Or there is a claim of 10. So,
hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 676 odd crores, 75 odd crores total, which split we have given you, 325 and 347.
This excludes the green tax on CVs.
Yes, of course. Okay. That is on actuals which gets paid to the authority. That doesn't come into our revenues.
Absolutely, okay, fine. And so just the net debt number and how much is in the Mumbai entry point?
The Mumbai entry point year-end number is 2,270 crores.
And consol?
3,047 crores.
Great. Thank you,
this
sir.
Includes
yeah, sorry.
RGSL of 298 crores.
Outstanding, pending.
Yeah, RGSL 298 crores. Mumbai entry point 2,270 crores. And there is around 360 odd crore of working capital and on balance sheet borrowings in the holdco, and the balance is across several other smaller SPVs.
How much would be the EPC, debt and the SPVs, EPC SPVs?
The EPC debt on a term loan basis is around 430 crores drawn down.
Okay. Perfect, sir. Great. Thanks a lot, sir, and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone who would like to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. Participants who wish to ask a question, please press star and 1. As there are no further questions from the participants, I now hand the conference over to Mr. Shravan Shah for closing comments. Thank you and over to you.
Post the fourth quarter, superb bidding from the NHA side, it seems now it has slowed down. But actually, are you seeing, though that there are tenders, but in terms of the award, actually it is not coming in. So if you can help us, what's your view, particularly on the HAM front?
No, are you saying that the tendering has slowed down from NHAI? Is that what you're saying?
Tendering maybe, tenders, I can see the tenders, but actually awards is, though the NHAI and ministry says that we have now split the annual target into quarterly, but actually the numbers is not coming in. So that's what just wanted to see. So first 1.5 months, we haven't seen major announcements. So just wanted to understand, or if it is so, the issue is because of the only land acquisition, or is there any administrative related issues, and that's why there is a delay from the NHA side in terms of the actual awarding?
No, I think to be fair to NHAI, I believe there has been already a very good improvement in FY18 over the previous year with respect to not only the actual bidding that has happened, but also appointed dates that have been awarded and all of that. There have been some lull for a few months around the GST time period, but other than that, I think there has been a fairly good track record of NHAI tendering and bidding out projects. With respect to whether the bidded out projects see light of the day by way of land acquisition and appointed dates are provided as a function of two things. One is land acquisition, two is the ability of individual contractors to also complete financial closures and their end of the conditions precedent. So there is a whole host of reasons why a particular project may not have yet been awarded appointed date post successful bidding and concession agreement signing. So multiplicity of factors. The Indian financial banking system has not helped. So I would think it is not a correct picture to think that there is doom and gloom with respect to NHAI and the way they are moving forward. I think there is very positive output. The traction is better than it has been in several years in the past, and even going forward, there is a fairly deep depth of potential projects and kilometers of roads to be awarded. So personally, from MEP, we believe that road infrastructure is in a purple patch or in a sweet spot, and it is always it is always easy to say that you did not achieve your targets, but if the targets were really well-established stretch targets, then falling slightly short of those targets is far better than where one could have been without that kind of push. So I would think that it's in a positive space that we all are in.
True. No, I was definitely FY18 was a good job, but I was saying this April and May 18, do you see the same momentum from the NHA side? Because we haven't seen that much awarding. Tenders are there. So that's what I just wanted to understand, particularly in last 1.5 months. And also at the same time, the overall, if you look at the Bharatmala, how much do you think that actual DPR has been prepared for the phase 1, 24,800 kilometers? I am not talking about the old NHTP 10,000 kilometers shifted to the Bharatmala, but the new 24,800 kilometer. How much DPR has actually been prepared, and maybe the land acquisition details, if you have any rough idea how much it would be?
I unfortunately, I get the flavor of what your concern is, but unfortunately will not be able to provide any meaningful insights with respect to where NHAI is on their preparation or study for their ambitious targets that they have set for themselves. So we'll not be able to comment on that right now. But only one more point I would like to add is in relation to what you mentioned about last 6 weeks or 1.5 months. A lot of activity in this sector happens a little bit in a sporadic or a lumpy way. Historically, if you see all months of the year, don't see the same kind of traction and progress continually. There are 2-3 months of hyperactivity, and then there are 2-3 months, 4 months of lull, before which the next phase sort of kicks in. So maybe a bit too early to kind of write off FY19. The targets set by the minister and ministry and NHAI are fairly aggressive, and I'm sure they will be working hard towards achieving it.
And in terms of the SPV HAM projects, whenever we are achieving the milestone and when we raising the bill to NHAI, in how many days are we getting the payment from the NHAI?
I don't think the issue in the last 6-9 months is NHAI. I would, on a lighter note, say it is more the banks. But having said that, our experience of the 3 milestones that we have already received funds from NHAI in less than a week to 10 days.
Oh, that's a great thing.
Yes.
That's it. Anything closing commentary you want to put in?
I would just like to thank everybody for attending the call and spending the time in receiving our presentation and details. And we look forward to having everybody back on our next quarter call.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.